Hello, everyone. How are you? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. It is good to be back. Good people of the algorithm. I hope everything is going well with you. I just heard one of my subscribers and dear people who's a part of this chat said that she didn't have a good week. I'm sorry that that happened to you, sis. I hope you have a better week going forward and if today is going well with you. And shout out to Sean. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you for showing up. And I hope everything is going well with you and your family. Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. I understand. I understand. My condolences, and I hope you feel better and you get the care and the support that you definitely need. I definitely hope that you have that around you. You definitely have my support. And losing a parent's hard. It's very hard and you don't get over it, right? It's kind of like an emptiness that you have inside that never goes away, right? Because you never really think about that you will have a life where they're now no longer there. These are the first people that you knew, right? So I totally get it. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, sis. I appreciate you. And yes, same to you, Sean. I understand you miss your mom too. And shout out to you. Condolences as well to you and your family. And I hope you have the support system that you definitely need. I really do. Hey, Jeffrey, how are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you so much. I hope everything is going well with you, sir. And all in Royalty Podcast, how are you doing? Thank you, sir, for your compliment. And happy Sunday. I hope everything is going well with you. Hey, Black Beauty, how are you, dear? I hope everything is well with you, sis. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. And Miss Jalen, how are you? How are you, sis? I hope everything is well with you. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. So, guys, I wanted to say I missed y'all. I did. I really did. I missed every single last one of you. It's been a very tough week. Thank God I was able to get through with it. Training and all that stuff like that is not easy. I got a nice tan and I love it. I love when I tan and get darker and everything like that. That's my thing. But working out in this type of heat in the sun for very, very long hours is it's not for the weak. But you know what? It's meant to build character, and you don't know what you can possibly do until you put in a position to do it, right? So I do have 3 new cases for you guys. Just make sure you're hitting the like button for me. I truly appreciate it. If not, you can hit the down button. It is what it is. It definitely still helps the channel and keeps me in the algorithm. Share this to anyone who's interested in having these immersive type of conversation of old cases. And if you would like for me to review a specific case, go ahead and write it down in the comment section at the end of the show, and I will add it to the list of plethora of other cases that I would like to discuss or review with you guys. Okay. Oh, hey, young Riaz, how are you? How are you? It's good to see you, little bro. Good to see you. I hope everything is well with you. Hope everything's well with you. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Yeah, tan. Ooh, super tan. Super tan. I love it, though. I love it. All right. So, the first case that I have for you, good folks, it's not too long. These cases are not going to be that long. I have plans for later on this evening. So I want to make sure I got some content out for you guys since I've been away for like almost 9 days. But the first case I have for you good folks is about a cop. It's when a cop's wife realizes he knows about her affair. Now, I thought this was quite interesting. Shout out to the channels, the video essays channels that I get my content from, like Red Tree Interrogation or Red Tree Crime, Stay Awake, and Beyond Evil. Those are my favorites. So shout out to them. I love their videos. But from what I assume from this particular case that we're about to go over, this wife was having an affair. I don't know if it led to someone losing their life, but we're going to look at it together. We're definitely going to look at it together. Oh, okay. So we're going to just block you. Anyway, Hi, how are you doing, Birthday News? It's good to see you. Hope everything is well with you. Thank you for stopping by. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Oh, it's not my birthday. It's not my birthday, young Riaz. My birthday passed, okay? My birthday passed. I'm old. Okay? All right, so let me go ahead and pull this up and then we can get into it. All right, I hope you can see my screen, and here we go.
Police responded to a 911 call from a woman claiming that her husband, Deputy Sheriff Winford Adams, had just shot and killed a man she'd been having an affair with. When the police arrived on scene, Winford refused to drop his firearm and come outside.
Keep orders, God, I can't see. I can't see. Drop the gun! He's going on the other side of the car! Get in tree cover. Switch me. Put it down! Take this. Cover this. He's going from the rifle. Put it down! Drop it! Do not go in the house!
Please don't go in there! Help him! He's a police officer with the Madison County Sheriff's Deputy. Can you talk to him or take somebody or not until...
Ma'am, can you go stand over there? Give me that car over there, please. 6-9 Central. The call is advising the man with the gun inside is a deputy for Madison County.
He is still alive. Yes. That's how we got your name. No, I got it from him. Put your gun down and come out and talk to us. Pray.
Okay. Hey, look. If you're sorry, if you mean that, that tells me if you're upstanding, we can work through it.
He's cutting off my... Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
Everything I said to him,
Okay.
I consent. I'm fine with talking. I'm fine with it being played before.
I understand that.
But I want to make sure it's clear. I'm not difficult.
Okay.
I'm not going to be one of the asshole people y'all
Well,
always
no.
have to talk to. Or
Listen to me. You know the only concern I have right now, and the thing that is good out of all this, I'm happy that you did not put us in a situation to have to shoot you.
I would have never.
Listen, I am also happy you did not shoot. No matter what happened, it ain't worth it. That's my opinion, okay? You got plenty of life left to live. Live it. That's all I got to say.
I don't know why.
Listen, hey.
Well, no, when the lieutenant showed up, I don't know why. For some reason, I didn't feel like I could do it with him here.
Good. I'm glad. Because it keeps you alive.
Tonight, I lost a wife. Tonight, I probably lost my land.
Well, listen to me. Don't stress out about it. We're in the present. Don't worry about what's already happened. Move on. Own it.
No, I know.
And that's what I'm saying. Own it. You're already saying you want to. Deal with it. Move on with life.
After securing Deputy Sheriff Adams and then putting him into a patrol car, an officer speaks with his wife, Charlotte.
I have some yoga friends, but this is just so embarrassing because...
Well, don't
Hey,
think of it as
Bama
embarrassing.
boy, how are you?
Your friends are going to want to be there for you.
Happy Sunday, dears. Happy Sunday.
And they already hate me there because I went to Georgia Southern, and this is the last thing I need right now. With his hands around my neck and was screaming at me like, "You cheating!" And I was just
Hi, Flower. How are you, dear? I hope everything is well with you. Thank you for stopping by. Happy Sunday.
We're just friends, and I would tell you the truth if we weren't. I would tell you.
Charlotte and her husband would both be transported down to the local police department and put into separate interrogation rooms to be interviewed. They begin with Winford to get his side of the story. Then they will move on to his wife and get hers.
All right, so far from what I'm seeing, it seemed that it was a wife that was having an affair. The cop or the deputy, he lost his cool and he tried to unalive her lover. I would say fortunately, not unfortunately. Fortunately, the guy actually survived, and he was able to tell the police that came on scene who actually shot him. There was a standoff. They was able to calm him down enough where there was no further injuries that needed to happen, which is always a good thing, right? It's always a good thing when we don't have loss of life. To me, anyway. I mean, I know there's people out there who like people to lose their lives. They get a kick out of it. But I personally don't like that. So now I guess they're going to interrogate them. It's not like he's not going to get potential charges. He's not going to get, it's not like he's not going to get charges, whether if they're going to try to charge him as assault or attempted murder, we'll see. We'll figure this out. But I guess they want to interrogate them both to actually see how did this happen, and to also make sure that the wife didn't kind of like set the guy up, right? Normally, in this type of situations, the actions is always the person who decides to be the aggressor in the situation. But there is times, and we run through cases where the wife would throw somebody under the bus to try to protect herself, right? Depending on whatever she was doing or whatever not, she'll literally get the person that she was playing with the whole entire time to attack another person to try to, kill two birds in one stone. So I'm thinking that's the reason why they want to interrogate. They also want to find out that this wasn't something that they both planned together to take this guy's life, or potentially take this guy's life. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, let me go ahead and play a little bit more.
At this point, Winford, also known as Trey, doesn't know his victim died from the gunshot wounds.
Just relax and breathe. This is hard. I lost everything
Oh no,
in
he
my life
passed
tonight,
away.
and
That's
I
so
don't think
sad.
that I've ever made so many people that's this disappointed. Well, I guess why don't we just go ahead and kind of start from the beginning? Like what happened today? I've never had friends before. When I was growing up, I was always a kid that was made fun of and people were mean to and all that, all the way up through high school. I've never really had friends. I've never had the people that just wanted to hang out with you. Right. After the previous incident years ago, we kind of had,
Thank you, Mama boy. I
rules about if she
appreciate you.
went out. Yeah. Which were supposed to be no drinking, no guys, if things get weird, call me. Right. Watch her and all night. Looked at her location to see where she was going, only because I've been sick today and I was hungry. And if she was going somewhere, I was going to act discreetly and bring something back. Right. And I saw she was there.
She didn't tell you where she was going to get something to eat?
She just said she was going to go meet the AI people and they were having dinner.
Oh.
I feel so terrible. Well, you've definitely got a lot going on. I should have done this tonight. Well, I think you did. I didn't mean to. I will go ahead and say that. There was no intention of me going there to do this. I ended up driving by because I felt bad and I wanted to see, are there a bunch of cars there? There wasn't. There was her car and one other car.
So it seems right now he's going through his clarity, and he's starting to understand the situation, right? You took someone's life. He's now saying that was never his intent, but you're also letting the detectives know that you was actually following and stalking your wife's whereabouts. She would tell you that she's going one place, and you pretty much followed her on her GPS to know who house that she was at. My thing is that, I get it. Emotions can take over, you can get frustrated, but this is the type of emotion that should not happen. And this is only in my opinion. Yeah, I can be wrong. But in my opinion, I don't think this type of emotion should happen. When you start going this extreme in reference to people that you're in a relationship with or that you're married to, it's not about love at this point. It's about control and you not being able to control the situation. You not being able to control such person's actions, right? Because if you had an inkling that your wife was cheating, and mind you, this is not to say that he wasn't surprised by it. He could have been. But if you had an inkling that your wife was cheating, you had more than enough information that you knew that she was at this guy's house. The best thing that you could have possibly done is pick up your stuff, go stay somewhere where you feel safe and comfortable, get through, the initial rage and betrayal, right? And then start making the proper process to leave her ass with that motherfucker over there. She want to be a little goofball and cheat on you. That's what you were supposed to do. And I would say the same thing to a woman as I would say the same thing to men. Do not let anybody put you in this type of position where you will destroy your life. And this is not to say that these people are not worth it or valuable, but however, if they can betray you in that way and put you in that position, what are you really fighting for? You got to really think about it. What are you really fighting for at that point? Are you fighting for that particular person that will harm you in that way? Or are you fighting to protect your ego? How dare this person do this to me? How dare this person cheat on me? How dare this person take this from me or take that from me? Who do they think they are? You got to realize when you're fighting for your ego and not really fighting for the person, but you're telling yourself you're fighting for the person. You're telling yourself you're fighting for the love. That's not what you're doing. That's not what you're doing. Derek said, I hope the police charging that guy with a felony for not having a shirt. Yeah, he was, I don't know what happened with the shirt situation. And that's another thing they probably going to ask him too, because if they said it was a shooting, did you have like a confrontation or a fight outside first? Like, where your shirt at? Or did you go over there with no shirt? I wonder. Inquiring minds wants to know. Let's go on.
And I drove by like 6 or 7 times. And I finally parked wherever my truck was. I don't exactly know what house it was in front of. And I was like, this is wrong. But I need to know for sure. She's never been straight with me, and I need to know for sure. And so I locked my truck, and I walked up, and there were some windows that were kind of open, and all I was looking for was there a table? Was there people around? Maybe one car picked up a bunch of people.
Oh, you didn't park in the driveway?
No, I was afraid because if I was wrong, I didn't want her to see me and be mad. I didn't want it to seem like I was jealous. I didn't want to be crazy, I feel bad, and when I have nobody on my side, so she blamed me too after the Halloween thing. She blamed me because she said none of her friends want to see her, and it's my fault she has no friends. And so I walked around, there were a couple windows, I didn't see anything, and then I saw on the front porch there was an open window, and then I see her laying on the couch, and he's behind her, and he's got his arms wrapped around her.
No problem, Flower.
Like they're sitting up? Or?
No, they're laying down.
Oh, okay.
Were they clothed?
They were clothed. I opened the door, and as soon as I opened the door, they both jumped up, and the deer in the headlight looked.
Yeah.
It was locked or open?
It was unlocked. And I initially just wanted to yell at both of them. And I looked them both in the eyes, and then she said, he's just afraid. He's just afraid. And I think I said something along the lines of, you don't do that with friends.
Yeah.
That's not just cool.
Yeah, no, you're totally right on that.
I had forgotten I had my gun on, because that's why I locked my truck. Because I know y'all found all the guns in there.
Was that your work service weapon, or was it a personal?
It was my personal
weapon.
Right. They looked at me, and Charlotte started, saying stuff. I don't even remember what she said. For whatever reason, I don't know why, I didn't think, as dumb as it sounds, everything went in slow-mo at that moment, and it felt like I had no control over it.
So he's pretty much saying that he went into a fit of rage. I think that that's the argument that he's trying to go with, that he was in a fit of rage, and he didn't use any of his skills that he knows by him being a deputy. He didn't even use any of his anger management skills that he also gets as well, right? That type of protocol training. He just went blank, saw red, saw his wife in that way, and he went at it. But the thing about it is, if you're saying that you usually keep your gun in your glove department, how did you have your gun on you? And when did you put your gun on you? Did you put your gun on you while you went with your GPS to follow her location at the guy's house? Is that the reason why your gun wasn't in your glove department? Or did you have your gun out because initially you was going to target your wife, but she wasn't home? She was at the boyfriend house. That's what I would want to know. Because if you're doing something that is, dramatically different than what you do on your regular basis, you're going to have to own up to that, right? There's a reason why you had the gun with you. There's a reason why. Let's see. I can't hear Miss Jalen. Derek said all the guns sound like premeditation to me. Yeah, that's what I was leading with. Absolutely. I appreciate it. Yes, make sure you hit the like buttons for me. Truly appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Derek says, Deputy, de-escalate, please. Did you learn your de-escalation skills in the academy? Yeah, I mean, it just went out of the window. I guess when you're in a very stressful moment and you're full of anxiety, anger, betrayal, frustration, I guess your training kind of go out of the window sometimes in certain situations, right? We just don't know what level people are at in their point of life.
Any of it, like I was being forced to watch it, but I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine that.
And I pulled the gun out and I pointed it at him. Charlotte started yelling at me, like, I don't remember what she said, but she was screaming. And she started grabbing at me, and I will say I pushed her, but I was afraid the gun was going to go off because she was clawing all over me, and I was scared, and then he bolted, and I don't know, I didn't even aim it, I was holding it out like that, and I know 2 or 3 rounds,
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to call bull crap on that. Sir, you was not holding the gun out towards the ground. You're not trained that way. You train once you pull your gun out, it's center mass. That's how you're trained. So for you to say that you pulled it to the side and all that, no. And then on top of that, if you said that you didn't mean to shoot him, you never went over there with the intentions to shoot anyone or harm anyone, then why did you pull your gun out? Why? If you went over there to get the confirmation that you knew that your wife was cheating on you, you saw her car there, you was acting like MacGyver, you snuck into their backyard, you looked through the window, you jumped your fat ass in their window or the guy's window, right? And they was alarmed, like, who the hell is coming in the house? And then they see you, right? There was a point where you could have been like, okay, I see what it is, and I'm out. That's it. You didn't do that. You went on to proceed to argue with them. What the hell is going on? And you with my wife, you effing my wife, you son of a bitch, and da-da-da-da-da. And it was even to the point where you pulled out a gun on them. You did not pull out the gun and have it to your side. There's no way. No, absolutely not. Because then you would have me believe that all your police training went right out the window. And I don't think so. Then you just said, oh, at first I didn't know. I don't know how many rounds I shot, but then you said 2 to 3. So you knew how many rounds you shot. You perfectly understood how many rounds you shot. And then when you even explaining this story to the detective, that means that when you had the gun, according to him, if he had the gun to the side, it was at one point you said the guy was running away from you. So not towards you, away from you. That means he wasn't a threat. You decided to take that gun that you had to the side and point it directly at him and shoot at him 2 to 3 times. So again, pulling this all out by piece, you actually did want to harm this man. You actually did shoot this man or try to shoot this man to harm and take his life. It wasn't an accident that you say that you was, and you can't even say that you was blindsided with rage either. You knew exactly what you was doing. You knew exactly what you're doing. Yes, I said MacGyver. That was my show, Flower. Yes. Let's see. Derek said he was trained to neutralize the threat. Sound like Porky is setting up a defense of immediate. Yeah, I agree. But then I think he kind of lost that because he said that the guy was running away. The guy was running away. He said that his wife jumped on his back, was clawing him and saying, "What are you doing?" and put the gun down. And all of a sudden he was so afraid that he didn't want to shoot her or he didn't want the gun to go off. But you made sure to get those 2-3 shots at that man while he's running away though, right? Flower said he needs a shirt. I agree. Sean said when the guy ran, you should have calmed down. He was intimidated at that point and probably unarmed. Yes, I agree. And he knows that. He knows that. Brucey, it's so good to see you. How are you, sir? How are you? I hope you're having a lovely, lovely, lovely Sunday. It's so good to see you. So good to see you. Sean said, lady, his shirt is in the car. Yes. Let's go on.
2 or 3 went off, and
inside the house or outside?
Inside the house. Mm-hmm. He was running out the front door, and then it was immediate. Oh my God!
So when you were shooting him, he was running away.
Yeah.
Okay. How many times did you shoot?
2 to 3 times.
Okay.
I immediately felt bad, and as dumb as that sounds, that's why I called y'all. I immediately felt bad. I feel like shit. I cannot believe that I did this, and my life is over. Like, and everybody keeps saying you can come back. No. If he's going to be okay, at a minimum, I know roughly charges that I'm facing, and I know what will happen to me. I know.
I can totally see that.
Like, I would give anything right now to just go to the hospital, look him in the eye, and just say, I'm sorry, even if he says he hates me.
Hey, Paul, happy Sunday. How are you? Yes, he's the bad guy as of now, right now.
Myself, so I don't get stabbed. I feel like I'm losing everything.
Oh, don't worry about that.
I'm never going to get to talk to anybody again.
When a man catches his wife cheating, his rage is often misdirected at her lover, who he sees as a rival or an intruder. Attacking the other man feels like a way to reclaim his pride, his dominance, and control. In this case, even though his wife had cheated on him multiple times, Winford would make excuses for her, so he could put the blame on her lovers instead of his wife.
Tell me about tonight.
When Trey got home.
So you know what? That's a big problem right there if you think about it. So this is not even the first incident. She have stepped out on their marriage numerous of times. So she has a history of doing this. This is a pattern. So now my question would be, if I was the detective, what was so special about this guy that you had to take your revenge, right? You had to, quote unquote, I guess, show one of these guys that she's dealing with, show them who's boss, right? You're not going to just get away with it. My thing is, again, if you have that information, I can understand if people want to give someone another chance for cheating, infidelity, that's up to those 2 people that's involved, right? I'm not going to shame you or anything of that sort. Y'all figure things out. Some people can work it out and there's no more transgressions, and other people that can't, right? That's up to the individual couples. But if you have that type of pattern with this woman, it's been frustrating and getting on your nerves, making you sick, obviously making you gain weight, right? Because you're a whole cop. You're supposed to be you don't have to be in the ultimate physique, but you should definitely be a little bit more healthier than what we're seeing on the screen, right? So we could tell that what she's doing to you is affecting you health-wise, not only mentally, physically as well. We can all see that your emotions is a shambles. She's no longer a benefit to you if you are literally going down. And you can't even look yourself in the mirror and see what she's doing to you is causing you not to take care of yourself anymore. That is a problem. That is a huge, huge problem. But let's see what this treacherous wife has to say for herself. Let's go.
I was trying to get out of there real quick, but he was right there in the driveway, and so anyway, but I just told him that, like, I was gonna go eat dinner, and I would be right back. And I was. Lloyd invited me over to his house for ribs.
No, first of all, who's Lloyd?
Lloyd is my friend.
Okay.
Who got shot
Okay.
by Trey. But Trey is so possessive and controlling and doesn't want me talking to guys. And I know it's just to protect me, but
Lucy.
I get along with guys better than I get along with girls. So I ended up meeting Lloyd and just talked to him about stupid stuff like, not stupid
Derek
stuff,
is he's on a warpath today.
But also we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all not lovers?
No,
You're
not at all.
You're platonic friends.
Literally platonic friends.
Okay.
Like, literally never kissed him, never did anything with him, we never even went anywhere with that.
Okay.
That's how I view Lloyd. He's a work friend, he's been to yoga with me, he's a yoga friend.
Okay.
It's like...
Charlotte claims that Lloyd was just her friend. However, her husband not only saw them cuddling on the couch, when he went into the home, he saw several used male contraceptives lying on Lloyd's bed.
I mean, I've tried to be so good to Trey. I've tried to live within his rules, and he scares me so bad because I know he's a good person, but he has some issues that he's struggling with. And I've been trying to help him. I've been trying to not piss him off.
You said he scares you so bad. What do you mean he scares you so bad?
It's just like his energy, like just his actions, like I haven't felt like I just feel like he's always just really mad at me, and like he doesn't love me, and like he's just like this close to just like stabbing, and I don't know what he would do if I guess now I know. He literally knew where I was. He was literally outside watching and burst down the door. Like, it updates every...
Sometimes this kind of situation, it gets very disturbing, right? You are the one who betrayed this man. Now, I'm not trying to say that what he did wasn't cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? We can all admit he went above and beyond, and he wasn't even supposed to go above and beyond. But I hate that the fact that now the wife knows that she's being treacherous and betraying her husband. And now she's trying to paint this guy as he has always been irrational. You've been walking on eggshells the whole entire marriage, and that he is such a bad guy. She has also tried to implement herself as a victim. No, sweetheart, the guy that you were smooching with is the victim. He's the one who got bullet holes in his back from the husband that you've been playing around with. You having all this information saying that he haven't been stable, and you've been trying to quote unquote help him, right? But you go out and you do something like that is like diabolical, and it's going to set him on edge. Now, you really want me to believe, and I'm speaking from woman to woman, you really want me to believe that you didn't have no, petty agenda to do what you did? If you know that he's spiraling out of control, you know that this is not the first time you have cheated on him and he have took you back, and you go and you do this again. Like, who pushes the buttons for someone who's already over the edge, especially if they say that they love them and care about them so much? No, ma'am. Absolutely not. And I don't like when women or men, when they do that, right? Don't completely paint this person as this irrational, demonic being. But this was the demonic being that you married. This is also the demonic being that you did decide to get your fat ass out of the house and leave if you was having all this stress and you was walking on eggshells and you felt like, you had the worry for your life, right? Because this is what she's trying to tell the detectives, that she was scared, and that more now after what he did, she's more confirmed about why she was scared about him. Let's go on. I don't like that.
30 seconds, which he was telling me, like my GPS, because he made me share. He didn't make me, but he requested that I share my location with him, and then he shares his location with me.
By interviewing Charlotte, the detectives are trying to figure out if she played a part in the victim's death. Did she leave her location on, knowing that her husband would find her and possibly do something that would result in him going to jail? Is there more to this story than just a husband finding his wife in the arms of another man?
It's just so embarrassing, It's like...
So why did you tell him you were going to get something to eat and you would be right back if you were going over to Lloyd's house?
Yeah, because I was going to go to Lloyd's house for like 20 minutes, get some ribs, and then leave. I was about to leave. It had only been like, I don't even know how Trey got there that fast, or maybe I lost track of time. I should have left earlier.
And you say it's about 20 minutes from your house to Lloyd's house, and when you got there, it seemed like you had only been there just a few minutes. You just talked a little bit and had 4 ribs, you said.
Hey, Cindy, dear, how are you doing?
I don't even know if I finished my 4th rib because...
And you were the only person there with Lloyd?
Yeah, I thought that his roommate would be there because he's supposed to be there So Lloyd kept asking me about training,
Yeah.
I kept looking out the window, like always, because I'm afraid that Trey is going to come up there, and I'm afraid that he is going to kill me and whoever I'm with. Every time
Now, what makes you think that, though?
Hey, sweetheart.
I mean, you said you had never had any physical altercations.
Well, he has said before that he would kill and whoever if I ever cheated on him. And that's what he thought was going on when he came over there.
Okay, so tell me when everything started to happen. How did that go down?
I was getting this feeling, I was freaked out.
What do you mean?
I kept looking out the window like,
and what was that?
Is that Trey's car? Are those his headlights? Is he here? I know he's coming.
So describe the house, describe the driveway. Why were you looking out to see if anybody was outside? Were you nervous that he had followed you? Why were you nervous?
Well, I felt like if he saw that I was at Lloyd's house, I'm not.
So it's just like you can just see that there's a lot of mind games that's being played because you told your husband that you was going to the store. You did a reroute to Lloyd's house and you was looking out the window because you know that your husband knew that you were not going to the store. You knew that your husband knew that you was going to go see what's her name? Lloyd. And that's why you was looking out the window, because if you thought that you was being so sneaky and you had everything all figured out, you wouldn't have been that shocked. And then you would have had probably, unless he hid his car or parked his car a block away and then walked up to Lloyd's house, that can be a possibility. But if you're looking out the window and you see your husband's, figure, right? You see him coming up in there, he's mad, he's ready to go. why did you stay there? Why didn't you just get out and be like, oh my God, what are you doing here? I went to the store and I decided to just stop by his house and say hi and have a conversation with him. You didn't do any of that. Your husband had to literally sneak in the house through the window. You see how big that guy was. That was a lot to lift all that up and get in the window like a ninja. And he saw you literally with his own eyes kissing, tonguing the guy down, and y'all had condoms on the bed. But you're literally saying, I didn't do nothing with this man. He's just my friend. I never kissed him. I don't understand. What is he talking about? People got to really stop playing with people this way. I'm not trying to make excuses for people who take it to the extreme, right? You're going to have to deal with your own consequences, and the things that you do, you're going to have to deal with God with that. But people really do need to stop playing with people in this way. This is not okay. It's not okay. This is not good behavior at all. Just as an individual, let alone just being in a relationship with someone. No forms of relationships should be operating in this type of way. Stop playing with people or just leave people alone. That's as simple as that.
Supposed to be at a guy's house.
I'm trying to figure out, when you got there, you said you were there only a short period of time, and you kept looking out the window. Okay, so you thought Trey might be coming over. And then, just tell me what happened. We'll go through what happened if we have any questions.
And I had just gotten more ribs, and I couldn't even finish my rib, and Lori's laying there on the floor, and I was like saying something, and then
So Lori's on the floor?
Lori's on the floor, laying there.
Just laying on the floor?
Yeah, with his feet up on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting here at his table, sitting on a chair, like eating my rib, talking about stuff. And then once again, I'm the instigator. I'm like, I'm getting really scared. Like, I'm really, really scared. So I got on the floor and I curled up next to him in a ball. So then Lloyd's got his arm around me, like, he was kind of like laughing, like, I can't.
And why do you think you were really scared?
Because I was getting really scared because I just kept getting all these feelings that Trey was out there. Trey was coming for me, like.
So why didn't you
just leave? Yeah.
I might be wrong, right? But I'm going to go on a limb. I think she has something to do with this shooting. Her body mannerisms, she's very nervous, and she keeps on, trying to beat it in the detective's head about how scared and how morbid and how terrified she was of her husband. He's irrational. His emotions is out of control. He doesn't know how to control himself, right? And she keeps on laying it on thick when she's talking about the story, but I'm not buying it. Why was Lloyd laying on the floor and then you get scared and then you go lay on the floor with him, and then now he's laughing? So that means if you was telling Lloyd from the beginning that, hey, I'm nervous, I'm frightened with my husband. He's been really irate for the past couple of days. He thinks I'm cheating on you with him. Then this would have been something like, okay, do you feel that scared that maybe we need to call the cops or something like that? Do you see him out there? Do you see his car? He would not be laughing if he didn't think that the situation was cool and everything was okay. Especially if you're saying that you're scared, that you think your husband is outside or something like that. I don't think any man would think that would be a laughing moment, let alone a side piece guy. Like, that's not happening. So the simple fact that he's laughing, but you're sitting down there and you're talking about you cuddle up with him because you're so scared and all that stuff like that, he's probably wondering what the hell is wrong with you. He's like, what are you acting like that? What are you doing? What are you doing? He doesn't even know what's going on. But I'm under the impression that she might have known what's going on. I'm under the impression that she probably know that her husband was coming to do that, and she didn't warn the guy. She didn't warn the guy at all. Like I said, I could be wrong, but my spidey senses and going off of her body language is giving me a whole different type of story. Yes, she probably is not guilty of actually pulling the trigger. She's not. The husband has admitted to that, but having an understanding of possibly she could have been involved, or she probably kind of lured it to this situation for this to happen. I don't know. I'm up in the air. I'm up in the air with it. I'm definitely up in the air with it. And I know I seen him come in. Hey, William, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, sir. Hope everything is well. Hope everything is well. All right, and let's go on.
I was gonna leave, but I just wanted like one hug to like get me through, because I knew I was gonna get bitched at by Trey, and it was gonna be a cold, dark, freaking next couple days, and so I just wanted just a little bit of warmth, just a little hug, you know, for like 5 minutes, and then I was gonna go. Well, then Lloyd's like, do you want to just like lay on the couch? Horrible idea. I'm like, I guess Lloyd's maybe in pain or something. I'm like, okay, we'll lay here for like a second, and then I just stopped talking, and I was like, I better not fall asleep. This is what happened last time. Lloyd had his arms around me.
On the couch.
On the couch.
Oh no, not Miss J. Picking up as a client. No,
never done
objection.
anything.
Absolutely
Like
not.
it's not like that. And I should have just gone right then, but all of a sudden Lloyd heard something, and he sat up, and I started to sit up, and the door comes open. And Lloyd jumps up off of the couch. I jump up off of the couch. And all of a sudden I see Trey.
Happy
And
Sunday.
he's in his red sweatshirt, and he's screaming at me. He started screaming, "You cheating!" And I kept saying, he's a friend, it's not like that. And he was like, you've been lying to me. And he said something like, I think he said you hurt me at one point, but maybe that was outside when he said you hurt me so bad. I'm not sure. But he was yelling at me about something. And he said, I saw you. I was looking through the window, and I saw he had his arm around you. And I was like, it was just a hug.
It seems like it a little bit, don't it?
Friend, it's not like that. And I don't know if he was shoving Lloyd or something, but Lloyd was still over there by the couch, I think. But I could tell Lloyd was trying to get to the door.
Okay, the front door?
Which was still open. Still trying to tell Trey.
You got a whole husband who wants you to be home and not be in another man's house, but you had to go over to another man's house to kiss and hug.
And he kept trying to shove me.
You cold, but you wearing short
down next to Lloyd, like he was going to execute us both on the floor, which is kind of flattering. Like, Lloyd should have run. He should have been like, F this girl. I don't even know her hardly, and I don't care if she gets strangled, and how dare she bring this guy, you know, like he even said before Trey came over, are you going to get me murdered by your husband? He literally said that before we got on the couch. I forgot to say that. He was trying to escape out the door behind Trey because I could still see Lloyd when Trey drew his gun on him, and Lloyd
absolutely not, Ms.
had his back to him and was running out the door. Yeah, because when Trey went to shoot Lloyd, I saw him. I saw the back of him running out. Like
you saw the back of who running out? Lloyd?
Lloyd.
Okay. So Trey shot Lloyd as he was running away?
Yeah, Lloyd was already on the porch when Trey was shooting him.
So Lloyd managed to get out the front door.
Yeah. He shot somebody in the back from a foot away 4 times.
The detectives leave the room, and while they're gone, Charlotte checks her phone, and she notices that Lloyd passed away from his gunshot wounds.
Hey, I'm Detective Johnson. I haven't spoken with you yet, but I was over there. I was talking to Trey, and he wanted me to tell you to call Krista and Donnie and visit him. Come visit him. I guess those.
I just found out that dude died. I just found out Lloyd. I don't know. It's not. Did he die?
Yeah, he did. They couldn't save him.
I just saw it on Facebook that it said 38 minutes ago.
What did it say? Or what kind of
His
Facebook
mom
page?
posted on Lloyd's Facebook.
Oh, really? Yeah, I guess the doctors couldn't save him.
I just can't believe this. I don't know what to do. He just killed the one person that understood me. Yeah, I mean, Trey got his wish. I don't have any friends now. Everybody who knows Lloyd is going to be like, you let Lloyd get killed.
Well, it sounds, that's not really the way younger people think.
You can keep your underwear in your socks and just change into this.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to stop this a little bit. I don't even know why she still had her phone, but I guess because they already know who shot Lloyd, right? So that's why they didn't have to retrieve her phone. But wasn't that really disgusting? Like, they just told you that the guy that you was messing with, whether or not if he was just a hookup or a one-night stand, whatever it is, but the guy that you've been messing with has just lost his life from your husband, and you said, gee, great, now I don't have no friends anymore. I guess Trey got exactly what he wanted. Like, can you like at least say, oh my goodness, rest in peace to this man. I'm so sorry this happened. Show any form of you feeling guilty that you was out there, betraying your marriage, cheating on your husband, and not really informing this guy about the mental state of how your husband is, and also the fact that he knew that this affair was going on. You don't even sound no remorse that this guy died. It was all about you. Oh, wow, now I don't got nobody to talk to. Like, woman, you wasn't talking to this man. You was fucking this man, okay? And he's not the only man you was having sex with, because apparently you did this 2 times before you got to this one. It's just, I don't like stuff like that. Like, it's not about you. It's not about you. Can you just like take it off you for 1 second? Somebody lost their life and you worrying about whether or not you're going to, the next dick you're going to get. Like, girl, have several seats. Have several seats. Let's finish this up.
Got everything? Yeah, you got it. Just in her pocket. Oh, yeah, that's weird. I kind of thought there was at least a shirt pocket, but that's kind of weird. That's kind of discount.
In the end, Winford would be convicted of second-degree murder, and he was sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 30 years. No charges were brought against his wife, even though the police believe that she had lied to them several times during her interview. What are your thoughts on this case? What do you think would have happened if it had been his wife catching him with another woman instead? Please share your theories in the comments below.
So rest in peace to Lloyd, right? Unfortunately, he lost his life through a toxic relationship that they had to bring somebody else in instead of figuring it out that it's not going to work between you guys, separating and going their ways. It's sad when someone in the middle of something else that don't really have nothing to do with them gets involved. However, I mean, even though I say rest in peace to Lloyd, you're not really that innocent, dude. You knew that she was married. Don't be smashing married dudes chicks, right? Like, just don't do it, right? And again, people, If you're ever in this situation, somebody's cheating on you, you find out somebody's cheating on you, your wife's cheating on you, all the stuff like that, do not throw your life away over people in that way. Don't do it, okay? Don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't let nobody even convince you that it's worth it. Move on, take the L, get better, get stronger, get something hotter, okay? Next case that I have for you good folks is realizing a police officer found her husband's body in her garage. So I guess a woman's husband's body was found in the garage. Of course, with that title alone, you're going to believe that she might be the primary suspect, but we'll see what's going on going forward. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen and then we can go on. Here we go. Make sure you're hitting that like button for me. Appreciate it.
A woman walked into a police department, claiming she had just shot her husband during a domestic dispute. The police quickly rushed to the scene, and they found her husband's body lying in their garage. 39-year-old Melissa Golson was arrested and put into an interrogation room.
So we're going to talk about everything. I want to hear anything you have to say. Get your side of things. You know, tell me about you.
Whatever happens, I deserve. So let's talk.
From my understanding, I guess an argument started.
The argument has started that morning. I was woken up to an argument. Have OCD, and I struggle with washing my hands and there's a mountain of dishes in the kitchen right now. He woke me up. I've been sleeping on the couch and he's been sleeping in the bed, and I've been sleeping on the couch for a while.
Any fighting over anything particular, or just typical married couples?
I can't even tell you at this point anymore. I don't even.
Is he violent?
Mainly my OCD. We fight about that because I struggle with that a lot. Is he violent?
They never get a lawyer.
Are you violent?
No. Yes, I guess.
Well, that's excluding from what happened yesterday. Are you a violent person?
Normally, no. Saturday, he woke me up angry. Probably because I wasn't in bed with him again. It's been hurting him that I don't sleep in bed with him. And he just woke me up angry. I don't know if I went back to sleep because after we fight, I'm just exhausted and I just want to go to sleep and wake up not on edge. And
Melissa explains that after spending most of the morning arguing, the couple went out to eat. They continued arguing during their meal, mostly about how her husband's father wanted him to have Melissa Baker acted because he was worried she might harm his son. When the couple arrived home, Melissa decided she was done arguing.
What time did you guys get home?
I don't know, it was around noon, which I don't know what time exactly it was. But that was when I pulled out a gun from the drawer and then shot him.
It was a pistol, correct? A little Ruger?
So it's making it seem, she seemed like she's trying to go with the self-defense claim of why she had to shoot her husband. She narrated it perfectly, that they was arguing and they was arguing from early on in the day. I guess even something that extended from the prior day before. But I'm not buying it. There's a lot about her body language that doesn't seem sincere, that that was the only option that you had. And I'm hoping that when they start to ask her a little bit more questions, they give out a little information on whether or not if any of that is true, that he was coming at her aggressively or anything of that sort. I don't even think so. I would love to know what was the body position when they found him. I would love to know whether or not if he was laying down. And these things can be found out when they do an autopsy. They'll find out the trajectory of the bullet, how he spilled out, how the blood spilled out of his body, those things will come out, and a lot of people don't look at it in that way because they're not looking at it in too deep. They just figure if I make sure I tell the story right, I'll be fine. Or I clean my hands of any gunpowder, I'll be okay. I hide the gun, I'm gonna be fine. They always think about those type of details. They don't think about the very small details that they always lead out. Cindy said, wait. Did she say OCD and there was dishes left in the sink? Exactly. Very smart, Cindy. Very smart. William said, thank you so much, William. I appreciate that. Cindy said, a liar. Yep, she's a liar. Argue, then go eat. Yeah, I don't think so. Most people don't do that. Cindy said, of course she done it for sure. Oh, yeah, definitely. Obi-Wan Kenobi said, is a 9mm enough to deal with predators? Probably not. Let's see. Buddy, she's heartless. Yeah, you can definitely tell. But let's go on.
I don't know, it's a 380.
What is like size of small ones? And you said you did a drawer.
It was in the drawer, yeah.
Okay, you keep it in there? Where it always stays?
No. I had
Hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second.
I put it out that morning from my safe.
Okay.
I was leaving me alone.
When things started to escalate, you got it out of the safe just in case?
I had it on my person that morning when we finally called the truce, and I felt safe to put it away. I just put it in that drawer right there, and so it was right there.
Was it like chambered?
Yeah.
Did you shoot him from that location?
I shot him from multiple locations.
All right, so two things that she said, guys, that kind of is now blowing her cover. You already had the gun in your possession. It wasn't where you normally store your gun. So my thing is, if it was already escalating that far with your husband that you needed to pull out your weapon, why are you going to lunch with him after having a bad argument? So do we normally go to lunch with people that we have to draw guns on? I don't really see that. I mean, I might see it in movies, but in real life, I don't really ever see that happening. If it gets to that level, most people are not trying to be around that person. And if you're fearing for your life, hence the reason why you take out your gun from where you store it, that means that your life is in danger. So which one is it, lady? Was your life in danger that you had to have your gun, or was your life not in danger? And did you plan on killing your husband from the get-go? Let's go on.
He charged at me, and I started pulling the trigger. He ended up running into the garage. He ran. Once I started shooting, he ran into the garage, and I chased him into the garage.
You said he charged at you. Was he because he see you?
I think he charged at me. Yeah, he saw me pull it out. I didn't even know I shot him. I don't think he knew he had been shot. He started trying to wrestle the gun away from me.
So the gun was empty at that point?
I felt it.
No objection, Miss Jalen.
Walked over like that. And then he gurgled. He gurgled. He slipped. And he slipped. He belonged there in the garage door.
What happened?
Oh yeah, she definitely planned it.
Put it down. There's in the garage. There's a green tote in there.
She planned it. It was not self-defense because she admitted to the detectives that she shot at him for multiple locations, which means his ass was dodging bullets and you was still trying to shoot him and hit him with the bullet. So self-defense, right out the window. Right out the window. Someone who's in self-defense is not going around corners acting like they're a sniper trying to shoot people while they're running away. That's not self-defense. That is not self-defense at all. And you don't get to claim self-defense just because you feel that you're the weaker vessel and you're smaller than him and automatically you become, the victim. No, that's not it. You had a gun. You equaled out the playing field. He didn't have a gun. He's dodging bullets. You running around trying to shoot him around the house, and then you hit him. And then on top of that, instead of you calling 911 immediately and letting them know the whole situation, you hit his body. You hit his body in the freaking garage. How, like, again, you sit up here giving these fake cries and stuff like that you're really sad about what you did to, I don't know, the man that you fucking married. And you want people to actually believe you and be sympathetic for you, but you couldn't even do right with him in death if it was all an accident and you never meant for this to happen. You just wanted to protect your life. That's not how you treat someone that you love, that you had to do self-preservation and make sure that they didn't kill you. You know what I'm saying? You don't treat them in that way. You don't. Let's see. WV said, I was in a severely brutal relationship, got beat within an inch of dying. He strangled me at the least 10 times. I mean, to the point of thinking I was dead when I passed out, but I still would have had a hard. I'm so sorry that happened to you, ma'am. I really do. I'm really sorry that happened to you. That's terrible. That's so terrible. Brucey said, then she hides the weapon and sits on it so it can't be found. Right, exactly. That's just not the act of someone who was at their last leg, and this was the only option that they had. William said, planned it by having the gun in her or on her. Passion for earlier, premeditated by all means, absolutely no self-defense. Mrs. Rambo. Absolutely, William. I agree. It's terrible. It's really terrible.
Sat on it. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I felt so calm. I didn't know what to do.
After taking her husband's life, it would be almost 24 hours before the police were called, and the detectives want to know why.
We wouldn't expect you to know, per se, what to do. I mean, you're going to be in shock as well. But there's a point between that's 12 o'clock Saturday to what happened to today. There's a period in between. And what did you do? Where did you go?
I laid down on the couch and I slept. I watched some TV and I cuddled my dog and I slept.
Did you go anywhere last night or this morning? To your sister's this morning, correct?
Melissa explains that the morning after she killed her husband, she went over to her sister's house to tell her what happened. Her sister was also interviewed, and this was her statement.
Wow, let's talk about today. What happened?
Well, we just got home from church. I was changing the kids, and got a ring on the doorbell. I thought, that's odd. No one rings my doorbell. Wasn't expecting anyone.
One of the kids is excited to see her, but you said she's been crying. So did she come in? So you didn't go out.
I told her back in the house, and she came in the house. I don't think she's expecting to stay in the same house. Or she's in later. But and so we're playing, and just hanging out a little bit, and playing, and just like, can we talk? And I was like, okay, so what? Obviously,
our problems are solutions. Shout out to you. Thank you for stopping by and subscribing. Really appreciate it. Happy Sunday.
Whatever she's telling me, and I've got me. So like, well, look at your car. Car's on her court, and just kind of chat. I'm kind of apologizing for our text messages because I thought this was what it was about. And she is talking funny all of a sudden. She's like, she was telling me how joyful she was in there, how much joy it was to see my son, and she hasn't felt that in a while. And she was talking about how she's missed hanging out with us. We haven't hung out in a very long time, and then she started saying, I ruined my life, and then she said, I killed my husband, and
Bombshell.
I don't really know what to do at this point, and I knew immediately, okay, we got to get the police involved. I knew that's running through my mind. When is he still alive? I don't know, but the way she was talking, the way she was calm, it had to have been a day or two ago, is just how it seemed to me. Mm-hmm. I didn't really want police coming into my house and how that was going to pan out, and I was like, okay, let's just get Lishy. I had said, we need to take the step of, we need to tell someone this, we need to confess this type thing, we need to tell the police this needs to be told, and, obviously, and she had also mentioned she had already made some stops before she came to my house. She had went to my grandmother's house and just hugged her. She apparently stopped by my brother's house. I don't think he opened the door. We stopped by her house, parked her car. I immediately got her in my car. I wasn't going in the house. I don't do gory, and I don't do any of that stuff. And maybe that's where we should have called, and that's what my dad said. But again, I'm just,
hey,
my
Moa, how are you?
thought
Happy
was,
Sunday.
get her to the police station. Mm-hmm. So I drove from her house to that police station because it was on the way. So we get there. I drive her from the Wawa to the police department there, and no one's there except for the guy I guess I talked to on the phone.
Yeah,
and he said, you can either call the police or you can drive to this next station. Said she wants to drive. I said, okay. I wanted to just wait, but because I was tired of running around. Mm-hmm.
So far, it seemed that she went to her family for help. She wanted them to get her out of the situation. When her sister got all the information together, her sister wanted to do the right thing and pretty much turn herself in, tell her to turn herself in. And she acted like she agreed, but she started making issues and problems and, oh, not this police station, not that police station. You know what? I'll drive myself. You don't have to worry about it, because she didn't get the type of answer that she wanted. You know what I'm saying? She wanted a friend in crime, right? A sister in crime, a mother in crime, a brother in crime. She went to everybody that she thought that would help her hide the body. When it started to get real, when she was supposed to go to the police station, she decided not to go to the police station. I'm just going to store his body in the garage, because God forbid I have to deal with the consequences for taking a man's life, my husband's life, and my life is ruined. You really think that you should be able to be walking around amongst all other civilians who are able to not kill their significant others? You think that you should be living your best life, after this. This shouldn't disrupt any process or any progress that you want to do with your life. And I find it very odd that the sister said when she came over there, she was very calm, and she was playing with the I guess the nephew or the niece that she has. And then she kind of like, with no real feeling and emotion, just said, oh yeah, I killed my husband. That's very startling to me, because someone who didn't mean to do something like that, they would be way more frantic than what her sister described when they had the conversation. You just kind of oh yeah, and by the way, oh, I love your house. I miss my nephew. I love you so much. And oh, by the way, I just killed my husband. That sounds very premeditated, planned to kill your husband type of situation. Very psychotic, really, to have no type of emotion for what you did. And then for your husband to literally be in the house for a day or two before you even let your sister and them know that you did what you did. You went on and you lived life as if nothing ever happened. You went to sleep, you went out, went to the store, you played with your dog, you went to sleep again. Yeah, no, absolutely not. You planned it. You wanted him gone. You wanted him gone. It wasn't self-defense at all. Let's go on.
But I was like, I just gotta keep her calm and keep moving. So we moved to the next place, which was the one in Green Cove, and there I picked up that phone and it called. I guess I don't know who it called. And at that point, she asked what was the crime. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna tell them the crime, because I know it's not my confession, but I'm at this point I feel like I'm getting
someone needs to know something.
Yeah, I'm getting too far in. There one day.
That's traumatic, and I'm so sorry that you're going through
Not
it.
your fault.
So, we did a good job. So thank you.
Her sister was able to bring Melissa safely to the police department before any other crimes could be committed. Now, let's get back to Melissa's interrogation, where the detective needs to figure out if what she did falls under self-defense or murder.
Have you and your husband ever been physically violent with each other? Or has it all been verbal?
It's been verbal. It's been feeling as though it's been escalating, though.
Right. But it's, at this point, it maintained verbal, maybe some words that shouldn't be said, passed back and forth, things like that.
I've thrown things towards him to get him to try to leave me alone before.
And minus the OCD, have you ever been diagnosed with a mental illness or anything? No?
When you guys came home after Publix, was he threatening you or anything? Or making threats to you?
So you diagnose yourself of having OCD, but then yet when we see the house, you don't have a house of a person who has OCD. You have a house of a regular person that some things gets to be put away, and other things might have to get put away throughout the day due to, prioritizing what is more important to deal with. You don't have a house of an OCD individual. Like usually a person who has that or who's been diagnosed with that, they're depending on if their OCD is cleanliness, that house is spotless. Like you could literally eat off the floor, right? Or they have a tick if the handle of the sink is positioned counterclockwise instead of clockwise. Like those little things are OCD. So you already diagnose yourself for something that you wouldn't even go to the hospital to diagnose, but you wanted to use that as some form of excuse for you. Then now you just explained to the detective that your husband have never been physically violent with you. It's been verbal between both of you. In fact, you are the one who's been actually lunging and throwing things at him. You just admitted. So you're the one who has been physically assaulting this guy, and it's been verbally, going on with you. My thing is, again, what was the point of the weapon? What was the point of you taking the weapon out of your safe place that you usually hold it, and you had it with you from that whole entire day? Then you said you got into this big argument and commotion with him, but then y'all went to Publix and y'all went to go out to eat afterwards. No, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. And the whole fearful for my life, no, ma'am, you was not fearful of your life. It seemed like you were just fed up with your husband. You was fed up with him, and you felt that it was better for him to be gone than have to, split everything with him or deal with anything with him. And you thought that you probably can get off by just saying self-defense because you are the weaker vessel. And that's what she used. That's exactly what she used. Let's see. Oh, shout out to Miss Jalen for being a member for 8 months for the level of Let's Talk About It. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And let's listen to Miss Jalen and get the likes up for me, guys. I truly appreciate it. Truly appreciate it. Let's see. Looks more like a hoarder's house. Right. Exactly. Sean said OCD and you keep a dead body. Yes, Sean. Exactly. Brucey said the labels on the food cans in the cupboard all arranged nice and neat. Right. Okay, let's go on with her interrogation.
Mostly just picking at you with the dishes and things like that.
Picking, pushing the buttons, trying to get her eyes.
So to help us understand, we're trying to understand. Where does it go from a verbal argument to getting the gun out thinking the only resolution to this is death?
I don't know.
Did you not feel like you had a way out? You couldn't call somebody and get out of there?
Just got built up?
Just wanted to stop. I just wanted to be able to breathe and think. He just pushes my buttons. It's like, I just want him to stop. I just want to think. I just want to have calm. And that happens every time. I just want to, he wants me to like go do things and work on the house or do the dishes or whatever it is I'm supposed to be doing. And I just want to sleep afterwards. I can't because I'm so on edge afterwards that I just go lay down and then the next day it starts all over again because all I did was sleep the day before. And
so you don't work?
No.
So when you get the gun out of the drawer and you said he charges you, do you say anything?
Hey,
Or
Jen,
you yelling
how are
at him?
you?
Is that what
Happy
catches
Sunday.
his attention?
I'm doing well. How you been?
No, he had my attention because he was looking for the rise.
So he's looking to get a rise out of you.
He wasn't even trying to do the dishes. He just started like picking cups up and moving them around. He just thought it was
okay. So again, he's picking cups. Wait. Lady. Remember, you said you had OCD. So that means if there was any type of dust, cups here, cups there, that shouldn't be happening. You had dishes in the sink. You had cups all over the house. You don't even work. You're a stay-at-home mom. And you said that he was always bugging you and you wanted to sleep. Ma'am, it seemed like you were sleeping a lot. If your house is that untidy and you don't have to go to work, you was doing more sleeping and whatever else that you was doing than just keeping your house clean. So that pretty much go all the way against your whole OCD claim. You're not OCD about nothing except sleep. Right? You make sure you get a lot of sleep. A lot of sleep. And again, there's no evidence, even within her own words, there's no evidence that this man was physically abusive to you. And yes, he was complaining because if he's figuring if he has to go to work and work 10 hours, 10 hours, he at least shouldn't have to come home and have to pick up a cup off the floor that been there, like that's somewhat reasonable. I'm not trying to say just because you work, you're not supposed to come home and help. You are, right? Maybe do the laundry, fold the clothes. If she did the laundry, you pick and choose, right? That's what you are. You're a family unit. You decide how you want to deliver up all the responsibilities that will work for everybody, and everybody's pulling their part, right? That's just adulthood. That's life. That's adulthood. It is what it is. We're not getting away with it. We're not going to get over this, guys. You're going to have to accept it, right? It is what it is. But darling, there's no reason why you should have had your gun available. Nothing that you have stated to the detectives shows any sign why you should have feared for your life the way that you did, that you needed your gun on you at all times, and it wasn't locked up where you normally have it. From the argument that you had to everything. So let's go on.
Funny.
Just fish off.
But were you yelling at him because of it?
I was asking him to stop. Yeah, I was yelling for him to stop.
Stop. Because at some point he's got to notice that you're getting the gun out, right? And did he run to the garage? And then you chased behind him?
I know, right?
When he saw you with the gun, did he say anything to you?
I don't think so.
He just ran at you?
I think.
What would cause him to think that you would actually pull the trigger? Because if I'm married, if my wife were to get in an argument, let's say, and she pulled a gun out, in my mind I would think she's not actually really going to do that. So why would he think that you would? To the point that he's got to run.
Did you fire any shots inside the house, or were they just in the garage?
Just the garage.
I think so too, William.
Just a garage.
So you pull the trigger a couple of times, he hears the click, he makes the hard turn to go to the garage, you're chasing behind him, and
I racked it as I ran.
You racked it as you ran. You get into the garage,
And I was just firing.
and he's obviously still running from you, right?
Melissa confesses to shooting her retreating husband, which means she cannot claim self-defense. So now the question is, was it first or second-degree murder? Did she plan on killing her husband, or did it happen on impulse?
No.
In a rage to a point, maybe some things are blurry, but as we talk, they come
Hey,
back a
Happy.
little bit.
How you doing? Good
But
to
at the
see
point you got the gun
Good to
out,
see you.
I mean, your intent was for him to die.
My intent was for him to stop.
What? You don't think he stopped when he ran to the garage?
Well, yeah. What happens next?
Well, obviously, at some point, we're going to discuss with the state attorney the things that you just divulged to us, and the decision will be made. You will be placed under arrest and charged. I don't know what the charge will be at this point. And, there's a whole booking process and things like that. We told you we'd allow you to talk to your sister. We're going to do that.
I'm going to be placed under arrest and charged today and taken to jail.
Yes, ma'am. Part of your statement to her was...
I don't know anymore, Flower. People have lost it.
That's pretty...
Married my husband.
I understand that. And, at this point, that you did. Still having difficulty understanding the decision to commit murder on your husband. And understand, I don't have the OCD that you have. I said we all have some type of it, but not to the extent that you have. So, it's just a little difficult trying to understand where the decision or the switch
He does
was
not
put
have
to say,
OCD.
okay, this is it. And as you said, it was to get him to stop, to leave you alone so you could breathe.
I don't know what to tell you.
And I don't want you to make anything up. Tell me. I'm just speaking out loud.
The interrogation ends, but Melissa wants to know if she can talk with her father on the phone.
This is your dad. He called me back.
I'm sorry.
I'm not going to get into asking you any questions.
I'm at the station right now. I don't know what happens next.
Well, I'm pretty sure you know what's going to happen.
Well, yeah.
So, it took place at y'all's house?
Yeah.
Alright, no more questions.
I already answered all their questions.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I don't either. But I did it, so I turned myself in and not trying to hide anything, so what's the difference? Will you come see me?
Well, she said multiple.
I
think she
at
said
some
that she
point,
was
I don't know. I don't
going
know.
off.
I don't know. I love you.
Love you.
I'm so sorry.
In the end, Melissa would be charged with first-degree murder. Prosecution argued that because she pulled the firearm out of her safe, that showed intent in planning. Before the case could go to trial, Melissa would accept a plea deal for 40 years in prison in exchange for her guilty plea to second-degree murder. Why do you think Melissa chose to kill her husband instead of just leaving him? Please share your thoughts in the comments below.
So rest in peace to her husband, because it seemed that she had it out for him. Unfortunately, I really don't know why she decided to kill her husband. It could have been a possibility. Had to be with insurance, life insurance, some form of policy. I don't know. We didn't really get that much detail from this actual case or the video itself about other things that she had going on in her life that could have gave us a little bit more clues on her intent. But one thing is clear: her intent was to unalive her husband. She literally had her gun ready, locked and loaded, ready to go. And even when he was retrieving, she was literally going around the house acting like a sniper, trying to shoot him through the walls and stuff like that. So she purposely wanted him gone, and then showing no emotions, or hearing about her showing no emotions after the shooting, going to the store, playing with her dog, going to sleep, going to see all her family members, and having a casual conversation with her sister. Yeah, I just killed my husband. Yeah, first degree was the proper charge for her. It seems that she finally got a lawyer and they told her to take a plea deal, and she took the plea deal. Don't know what state she's in, but it probably was better for her to take the plea deal. If I think what state that I think that she's in, it was better for her to take the plea deal. All right, good folks, we are moving along. I have one more case for you. Make sure you're hitting the like button for me. I truly appreciate all of y'all that are sitting here and vibing with me with these cases. Like I said, they're quite short today because I do have plans for later on tonight. So I want to make sure I stay on time. Okay, let's see what they're saying in the chat. So Sean said money. I think that could be a possibility too. Let's see. Cindy said that is a lie, not trying to hide anything. Lie. You're right. No, she was trying to hide a lot. She hid a whole body. She's hid a whole body in her garage. Is somewhere somehow she randomly got a green tarp so she could wrap his body in it and put it in the garage. Where did you go get that green tarp from? Because apparently y'all wasn't doing any construction on your house. You wasn't remodeling. So why did you just have a green tarp? Or did you go to the store and buy the green tarp after the incident? It's just sad. It's really sad when people do this. I just say, listen, if that person is not for you anymore, you don't want to be with that person anymore, please just just let it go, right? Just definitely let it go. Let's see. William said took the plea deal as a case against her was a slam dunk. Yeah, it was completely a slam dunk. Unfortunately, she thought the self-defense was going to be good enough because of her positioning in this situation. She's being a smaller woman, the weaker vessel, trying to narrate that she was afraid for her life. He was verbally abusive to her. But she couldn't lead with the fact that he'd never hit her before. So she can't say that he physically assaulted her. And then she killed it when she said that they got into this big explosion of an argument that made her go and pull out her weapon. But then yet you go to Publix with him and then you go to a restaurant with him afterwards. Ma'am, you did not fear for your life at all with this man. All right. So the next and the final case that I have for you good folks today on a lovely Sunday. There's a woman named Patricia, and Patricia thinks that she can manipulate the police. Don't a lot of people think that they can manipulate the police, especially detectives. So I wanted to look at this, and I think it's interesting, so we will look at it together. Let me pull up my screen, and here we go.
Patricia McMillan called the police to report that her ex-husband Kenneth had just gone missing. Patricia explained that she and Kenneth had just been divorced, and she was in the process of moving out. She had asked her friend Harold Ballard to help her move out, but she claims that her ex-husband called the police on him and had him trespass from the home. Patricia then continued packing up her belongings on her own, and when she finished, she realized Kenneth was nowhere to be found. The police asked Patricia to come down to the local police department so she could officially give them her statement.
Monday, the criminal trespass was issued.
Mm-hmm.
What was Harold's demeanor at that time? Was he a little pissed off?
No.
He wasn't?
No, he wasn't.
Did he say anything to Kenneth at that time? I'm thinking I'd be a little mad.
He was just upset because that left me high and dry, Here he knew that Kenneth's wanting me out, and he's been hounding me and harassing me to get me out. And then Kenneth throws him off the property, and then that leaves me high and dry. And as a friend, that made him mad that I was left high and dry. Now he was agitated because I was high and dry, and that's the only reason. That's all that.
Okay. You ever seen Harold with a temper? Get mad about anything?
No.
Never?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
The detective wants to know more about Harold Ballard. More specifically, he wants to know if they are in a relationship.
Where did you meet?
He came over to the house because he told me that we were friends at Oscar Mayer, and that he wanted to, since that I was going through a hard time, he knew what it was like to go through a divorce, and that he knew, he knew what it's like to go through a divorce, and he wanted to be there for me, and that he knew that there was nobody. He said, do you have anybody to help you move all your furniture out? Because he knew I had a house full of furniture. And I said, no, I don't have anybody. He said, well, I'll be here for you, and I'll help you get all this stuff out.
Okay. Now you understand what we talk about, we're not going to discuss with Kenneth.
Right.
Okay. When did y'all first actually start having a physical relationship? Before Labor Day or before Memorial Day?
It would have been after that. I mean, it wasn't just...
So it's been this month.
Yeah.
Considering everything that we've talked about
so far, it seemed like it.
And everything that you've told me and told Brad when we're out there on the side of the road and all that, would you be willing to take a polygraph?
Yes, sir.
Over all this stuff?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And during that polygraph, there'd probably be questions as to, whereabouts of Kenneth or anything like that. You'd be willing to take a polygraph.
Mm-hmm.
So if we set that up for you sometime this week, that'd be okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Due to the lack of evidence showing that Patricia was involved in her ex-husband's disappearance, she was allowed to go home. A few hours later, Harold was brought in for questioning. The first question they ask him is if he is romantically involved with Patricia, and Harold decides to lie.
What kind of relationship y'all have? Are y'all boyfriend, girlfriend? Because now she's gone through a divorce, or y'all seeing each other romantically or anything like that?
It's a business proposition.
Business proposition.
I need money, and she needs somebody. No, well, not necessarily yet. I was just working because I realized she's got a lot to do.
Yes, I understand. Okay, and that leads us up to the day in question is the day, I believe it's going to be the 16th, is a Monday.
And we were loading up some boxes, and Mr. McMillan and 2 Grayson County sheriffs drove up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Then he went on and talked some more, and then that's when he decided he was going to put his finger in my chest.
Did he actually make contact with you?
Oh, he did.
And what did you do?
I told him not to do it.
Did you do it in the comment, or did you do it in because I know somebody sticks their finger in my chest, I'm not going to be happy.
Well, I wasn't happy, but nevertheless, I wasn't there to cause trouble. I was there to help his ex-wife.
That is crazy, right? Let me pause that real quick. So I wasn't even going to say anything, Sean, but you're absolutely right. That is so crazy. Business proposition. Sir. Come on, man. Ooh, that was there. I was there. Hey, Freezy, how are you? It's good to see you, bro. Good to see you. I truly appreciate you being here. Happy Sunday to you, sir. Happy Sunday. Yeah. William said collusion between them. Yeah, I think so. That's the reason why they're asking him certain type of questions. Oh, yes. Road to 100K. We almost there. Hit that like button, subscribe. We're almost there, folks. Thank you so much, Freezy. Mods, if you can, please drop Freezy's channel in the chat for anybody who will be interested in going over to Freezy's channel. He has a mixed crowd, a mixed panel. You can actually call in on certain topics. He talks about many different things, hot, juicy topics, new topics, and current topics. You will enjoy his panel, all right? Shout out to you, sir. Shout out to you. Always appreciate you. Always appreciate you. Now, Miss Jalen said he's selling pee-pee. Yeah, he sure is. He's like, listen, I got the D, and I can help you lift a couple of boxes, if you know what I'm saying. Let's go on. Cat Daddy, go ahead,
Told by Mr. McMillan, standing between 2 deputies, that he wanted me to leave. Well, he said, as I knew that him and that woman over there were divorced. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. And then the decree authorized him or gave him, possession of the land and the house. He wanted me off the property and to never come back
And what did you say to him?
I said nothing.
He didn't say anything the whole time?
No, I sure did.
I think the officer said you made some type of comment or something. You didn't make no comments at all that you recollect?
To who?
To him, Mr. McMillan.
I sure did. The only thing was said was officer told me that it was a order that I had to leave the premises, and that's what I did.
Harold was allowed to leave, and the police were left empty-handed. A few days later, Kenneth's decapitated body was found 450 miles away in an alligator swamp. His hands and his feet had been tied to cinder blocks, and his body had been submerged in the deepest part of the swamp.
Wow, that is crazy. That is crazy. All right, so it's perfectly clear that somebody wanted this man gone. They wanted him unalive. How you throw this man in the alligator swamp? You tied a block to his leg so he can make sure he go all the way down to the bottom, and you decapitated him. So pretty much the way how he died, and is very cruel and horrible, right? That's something that she could not do by herself. We all saw this woman. She was not doing that by herself. She's not picking up a cinder block by herself. So it makes perfect sense why they're trying to connect their sexual relationship, because they're wondering who helped her. If we all know in the beginning, she's going to be the primary suspect because she is the spouse, right? It is what it is. But her details about how she met the other guy and and helping boxing and helping her put boxes and stuff in the house, she left out the fact that there was an altercation because the guy was on his property and he said, listen, we might be going through a divorce, but this is still my property. My name is on the land and the deed, and I don't want you on my property, right? So that's where the whole commotion came from that part. So now the detectives have to find out what was the intent. Is it because she wanted to get the whole property by herself? Did she do it because she wanted to, live carefree with her lover? These are the things that they have to start asking now. They're going to also start to ask her questions, as in how was this able to be done? Did y'all do this in the middle of the night? Did you do this in a barn? Did you do this on your land? Because the way how this man has been found by the police is really gruesome. That's really gruesome. That's really, really cruel. Definitely ain't no accident. And it was strategic. It was really, really strategic. So let's see. Sean said, wow, sounds like a plan to me. 450 miles away. Yep, definitely is. Definitely is. It's definitely. And Flower said, and the Gators didn't get him? Look, I don't know. I don't know why the Gators didn't get him. I mean, they put him in swamp lands with the Gators. So I don't know what happened. Maybe they got him in enough time before the Gators didn't get him. That's probably what it was. When he stopped bubbling, he's full. Yeah. Yep, alligator swamp. Yep. Miss Jalen said, where is the PP man? Yeah, the PP man tried to run out of Dodge, but he's going to get called back. CDG, how are you? Good to see you. Happy Sunday. He said, new to this, just popped up in my feed. So I thought I'd say, hey, what you up to? Are y'all just breaking down case conversations and looking for discrepancies? Yes, sir. And we're just reviewing some of the psychology of what happens in interrogations, what the detectives are looking for when they ask certain questions. We get a glimpse of the mental gymnastics that goes on between potential suspects and detectives. In some cases, I'm able to pull up where we can actually hear from the prosecutor, give their first statement, the DA gives their first statement, and closes statements on particular trials. And then we'll identify why certain people get charged for certain crimes, and this is the reason that led to the charges to stick for potential individuals. But shout out to you. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. Very, very, very much appreciate you. Not Freezy said, I'm giving up on society. Me too, Freezy. Me too, bro. Everybody going crazy. Crazy.
The investigators noticed a single gunshot wound to his back, which appeared to be the cause of death. Seeing as a person doesn't normally shoot themselves in the back, then tie cinder blocks to themselves and jump into the water, the police believe that Kenneth had been murdered. An autopsy was done, and the bullet that killed Kenneth was still in his body. It was a .22 caliber bullet. With this new information, the police investigated Harold's phone records and found that he had been near the swamp around the time Kenneth had gone missing. Because Harold had motive and his phone pinged in the area, he was arrested and brought in for interrogation. When the police searched his vehicle, they found .22 caliber ammunition. Harold sat in jail for several days, refusing to speak with the police. Once he realized that Patricia wasn't going to help him at all, he had his lawyer call the detectives and tell them that he wanted to.
Yes, Harold. Yeah, listen, I don't know what is wrong with this man. Sir, you should have been told the truth. You should have told the truth that you was using this woman as a sugar mama, right? She probably did unalive her husband herself, but she ran and called you and help her get rid of the body. I don't know why you would do some stupid shit like that. I don't know if she offered you more money or y'all was going to live on the land and all the stuff like that. But come on, you shouldn't have thought that this was something that you was going to get away with it. Y'all really thought that those alligators was gonna eat up the body before the police found them. That's what you probably thought, and that's why the wife, she went out and picked that location, literally 450 miles away, picked that location, knowing that it was a high level of alligators out there. You should have had no more better. You should have known more better, sir. But let's see how he gonna snitch now, because he realized that, the woman who gave you the proposition of why you need to help her, she ain't coming out here to help you, and you don't want the whole thing all on your back, right? Because you had nothing against this man. You didn't. I mean, yeah, he put his finger to your chest and told you to get the hell off his land. But who wouldn't do that? Nobody wants you on their land. They don't know you. Why you like that would be someone coming up on my land right now. If you ain't the mailman, or if you're not just knocking to say, "Hey, how you doing? Jehovah's Witness, and praise the Lord. Give me a Bible pamphlet," which I love because I like to collect my pamphlets and stuff. But if you're not like that, I'm gonna be like, "What you doing here?" I would be like, "Get off my land too." So, yeah. Flower said the cinder block saved them. Yeah. Miss Jalen said he go get a lawyer. Objection. Not you doing the objection. Sean said he's in the jumpsuit now. Yeah, I mean, he has to be in the jumpsuit now because they literally found the same caliber of bullets in his, in his possession. They pinged his cell phone, and he was at the swamp around the same day, or in the area where the body was found, and he was at the swamp on the same day that the guy went missing. That's just too much identifiers that more than what you led what you led earlier on when you had your interview with the cops. You knew something was going on and you was involved in something. So Joanne said, anyone please, do gator eat the person's clothes or do they spit them out? Sometimes they eat people whole. That's why I was always like, I ain't like them when I was in Florida. Bruce said they've been listening to too much Jerry Reed's Amos Moses or Charlie Daniels' Legend of the Woollies. Yeah, those are good books. Yeah, I agree. I think that's a possibility. My client wasn't finishing. Oh, no.
Speak with them. The detectives asked him to start when Kenneth had him trespass from his home.
Yeah. And he wanted me to vacate the premises and never to return.
Okay.
So I informed Ms. McMillan that I was going to have to leave, and she was concerned I was going to get a citation, so I was going to, she wanted me to leave the trailer, but the doctor said it would be hard for me to take the trailer. So I hooked my trailer up and left the place, and then my cell phone rang, and that's when I was informed that it was time to go to alligator country.
Okay. When she said we're going to alligator country, did you know what she was talking about?
I had an idea, but I wasn't sure. And my sister-in-law said, "What is that?" I said, "You don't want to know." I just like that. I didn't know for sure that that's what she meant. But she was saying something that she had gotten to the point where she was just kind of fed up with him, pushing her around and stuff. So,
Right. Had she talked about it before?
well, she had talked about. She got to the point where she didn't know how much more she could take.
And what did Patricia say over the phone happened?
She said he was dead.
He was what? Dead. Dead. Okay.
Did she
And I
say
said-
how it happened?
She didn't say. I
Okay.
said, "Where is he?" She said, "On the south side of the house." And so I went there, and sure enough, he was dead.
Okay. What happened when you pulled up?
Well, when I pulled up, I met her, and she showed me where he was.
Okay.
I walked around there to see him, and he was laying face up. And so we together took the carpet, that yellow carpet that she had, and wrapped him up, got him out of sight. She drove his car further down off in the weeds to the left of the house so they wouldn't be spotted.
Mhm.
And I left to go get my truck inspected. And so I picked her up, met her at her house around 9:30.
At p.m.? or-
9:30 p.m.
Was it Monday night or Tuesday night?
Monday night. Followed her to the place where his car was found. She drove his car.
His car. What kind of car is it?
It's a little Honda, white Honda.
How did you know how to get to Louisiana?
Yeah, it does, Flower.
She told me to take 635
Okay.
east and
That's
it would run
hatred.
into Twin, I believe.
Was this already planned? Did she have a map or something like
She
that?
didn't have a map no, she had said she had been to Louisiana before.
Didn't want to go in there. Now tell me what
Just
happened.
kept driving and then we just started looking for places that would be a nice place to be, out of sight until we were able to get rid of the body.
Okay.
hmm
Then what happened?
Well, we stopped at a few places and no time and talked to a few people that was fishing. And then we stopped at one place where they got those big old ships and stuff, sell shrimp and stuff. I don't remember where it was. Anyway, we stayed there until later on at night and then got rid of the body and then we left.
Did she say what happened?
She never did say. But after looking at him, I gathered that she shot him.
Okay. How do you come to that conclusion?
Well, I know I did.
Yes, sir. I understand. How did you tell he'd been shot?
I know he's being all forthcoming now and he's giving all this detail and stuff, but sir, that is not going to help you. They're going to still give you a good, decent amount of time because you had many opportunities to do the right thing and turn that crazy woman in. You didn't even ask any questions. You just met her at every location she sent you to, where to meet up and everything. You was just ready and available to help her and assist her. And even when you realize what you're helping her and assist her with, you still went on with it. You still went on with it. You are no better or no different than this woman. You're no better or no different than this woman. Miss Jayla said the pee-pee man did it. No problem, Flower. No problem. Yeah, sir. Like, come on now. Louisiana is a place to do it for sure. Yeah. Like, they're gonna throw the book at you. They're going to throw the book at you, my guy. You should have had no more better. You should have had known better. You should have been like, listen, crazy woman, I'll give you the D. You give me the money. That's our little business transaction. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not with this. I'm from the South. I'm not getting involved in this, woman. Whatever you got going on with your husband, that's on you. You're gonna have to deal with that in God. Don't get me involved with this. That's what you're supposed to do. Like, I'm wondering, like, dude, what did she really offer you that would make you put yourself in this situation like that? Did she tell you that she was going to give you half the money? Did she tell you how much money he had in his safe or something? Or how much she was going to be getting from the life insurance? She's like, listen, if you help me do this, I'll give you half of it. Like, what's going on? What happened? What happened that you would make a foolish decision like this? A foolish decision like this.
Well, it looked like there was blood. I mean, I didn't actually see a hole until after the shirt had went out. And I saw a hole in the back.
Okay. Where was the gun at? Did you see the gun?
I never see the gun.
Do you know what gun I'm talking about?
The gun she used to kill him.
Yeah.
I'm sure I know what gun I think you're talking about.
Okay.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it after that first time.
Okay. After the first time.
She had a 22 that she said her dad had bought her because when she worked at Oscar Mile on third shift, he wanted her to have some protection because a couple of times she thought somebody had been following her home.
Okay.
It was a pistol? Yeah, 22 pistol.
22 pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Did at any time did she go to make any ATM withdrawals or anything?
No, not that I can't say she did.
Okay, credit card or anything? So
no, she used cash all the time.
And the reason why I'm saying this here, I want to be able to show from somebody that Patricia was in Louisiana, okay?
Yeah.
That's what I need. Is there anything that you can give me to show that, I mean, talking with somebody, directions, or any way for me to
talk to one guy? We talked to several people. We had stopped at a service station. I went inside to get something to eat.
Okay.
We only used cash, and she had something. I talked to somebody, I don't know who he was, that while I was in the store, I came back out.
Don't money make people do the wickedest things?
Where something could be found.
And you don't know what convenience store that is or anything?
Not unless I was back down there.
Okay. Did at any time did you see her dispose of the gun?
No.
Did she say where she was the gun?
Matter of fact, she did.
Okay, what did she say?
Well, she didn't say she disposed of it. The day that I got arrested, the day that she was at the house.
Yes, sir.
She said she had the gun with her because she had thought they had found it.
Oh, okay.
But she looked later and found out that it hadn't been discovered. So the day that she came down there, it was the day that my mom wanted to talk to her because she was concerned about my well-being. She had told me she had the gun with her.
Okay.
But she couldn't take it out of the car because, as you know, all of y'all were there.
This whole time?
Hey, Jen, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Say anything? I mean, she just committed murder. I mean, she shot this guy, and she's not got you dumping the body and everything, or helping her. You know, so she didn't talk about it, or
no, she
didn't say nothing.
Matter of fact, either one of us said anything. We just drove in silence.
She didn't say anything about what Harold did or said when he got shot, or anything like that.
Not Harold.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Well, no.
Harold, is there anything you can tell me, or any place I could go to recover some of this evidence and stuff like that? Harold, you got to think real hard about helping us find some evidence.
Well, I'm trying.
To link Patricia, somebody, somewhere, okay? Because you know what it's going to.
Okay. So what the detective is trying to do, they're trying to kill two birds in one stone. If you don't really understand what's playing out right now in this interrogation, they already know that he's involved in it. That's why he's in the orange jumpsuit. Now they have to figure out whether or not if it was all him, and he did it because of the altercation that he had with the man on his property that day. Is that one of the reasons why you was down? You was down to clown around with this lady and do this stuff, or is there anything that can link him or her, the wife, to this situation? Because clearly, right now, he's the one that's in cuffs. The wife is at home. Whether they're trying to pick up all the evidence and stuff like that, she's at home getting the ability to try to erase as much evidence as possible about her plan, right? So for them asking about the gun, is it any way, did you see a gun? If other things was being used, other tools were being used, anything that can have some DNA of her on it, and possibly confirm that he was involved with harming this man, taking his life, or even mutilating his body, they need the tools so they can get the DNA to prove that, right? So they're trying to kill two birds in one stone, and this is why they're asking him the particular questions that they're asking him in the way that they are. He's being forthcoming because he believes by saying it, and tell you the truth, I don't necessarily believe that he's lying on a lot of stuff that he's saying. I haven't heard his voice change. His voice has remained the same. He's looking the detective straight in the eye while he's telling this story. I think he kind of figured like, listen, I done fucked up and ain't no way really I'm getting out of this crap. You know what I'm saying? For my part, for what I've done. So I'm not getting deceitful from him. But nonetheless, the detectives have to make sure they cross all their T's, right? They got to make sure that he didn't have any involvement as actually mutilating the body. He was only participated in the transportation of the body and the dumping of the body. But let's go on. Let's see what else happens.
I'm gonna go to Patricia and say, Lori, what's that? She got a weird with it.
Yeah.
And how am I gonna be able to prove that Patricia has done any of the stuff you told me? Is there anything I can go do, or people I talk to, or anything to?
You know what's the problem with that, CDG? Let me pause this and say this. You know what's the problem with that, CDG? Even though you would think that that's a smart move, sometimes it's not, right? The smartest move that you can possibly do, and I always express this on this channel, don't do no damn dumb crimes. Don't do the crimes, right? Really don't do the crimes, right? The simple fact, if you are involved or somebody sees you, they're surveillance. Most places now have cameras in places that you don't even know. There's cameras on every building now, especially a federal building. A lot of people have their own home surveillance that they can, confiscate and review to see if they saw you there. But then when you turn your phone off because you don't want the satellite to pick up that you was in a location, then now the detectives use the fact how long your cell phone was off to put pieces together on whether or not if you was trying to hide your location. So that's why I say the clearest thing that you could possibly do is not do a crime, from the get-go, because there is so many different ways that the detectives can try to take this angle to, to solve the case, right? So many ways. Sometimes it can go straight forward and it's a cut deal situation. And other times they got to go the reverse, right? They have to go backwards and use unethical ways to try to solve cases. It's really not as, cookie cutter how it was before. The reason why more cases are being found out and we're getting more convictions and charges for people committing crime than ever before in history is because back then we didn't have the type of technology that we have now. So look, there we go. We got a plus for the technology that we have now that is not detrimental and is actually being beneficial to us.
And she would and I didn't tell her that he had been shot. I told her she didn't know.
Well, you're an intelligent person, and the deal is people get put in jail for this and that, and then they say, well, I didn't do it, so did it. And we can't get up and go, okay, you're out, see ya, and go arrest her. We got to have something to put her with that, okay? I mean, you've done great. You told us how everything went down. I believe you. But the deal is, I believe what you're telling me is you're telling me the truth,
But that doesn't. But I know what you mean. And right off, I wish I could, but I don't know anybody offhand. I know, like I said, we did stop at several places. But as far as her being noticed, only people who that noticed her was the lady, the people at the gas station on the way back, because she went and paid for everything.
And you're not trying to, I said I believe you, but you're not trying to push it off on her, right?
Oh, no, I didn't. And I didn't think that she would be using me this way either. I thought she was a better friend.
Unfortunately for Harold, it was his word against Patricia's that she was the one who committed the murder. Harold told the police that he had a brother named Joe who was also close to Patricia, and perhaps they could use him to get a confession. Joe agreed to wear a wire, and he asked Patricia if they could meet. On the night of the meeting, Patricia told Joe that he was to tell Harold to just keep his mouth shut because the police didn't have any evidence against him. Joe played the part of a concerned mother, and he asked her if he should be worried about anything. Without hesitating, Patricia told him to worry because she dumped the gun in a lake. She also told Joe that Kenneth was alone where she shot him in the back. With her confession in hand, the police arrested Patricia and charged her with murder. Patricia sat in jail for a few months until she finally decided to speak with police. As soon as the interview begins, Patricia starts talking about how physically and mentally abusive Kenneth was to her.
Of course she was.
I was under his feet. Nothing I could ever do was good enough.
Of course she did.
He always complained about the meals or the dessert.
That's just crazy.
I never did anything fast enough. I just never did anything. He was
Oh my God.
And another thing he complained about is that I always interrupted his conversation. So therefore I thought, well, if I was interrupting your conversation, you'll make a listener of me. So I just said, my head and acknowledged that he was talking to me. And then it got to a point where
it's the crazy thing is, like, I so want to believe that when these women are saying that they're going through abusive situations and stuff like that, and I truly do believe it, a form of verbal abuse, sometimes physical abuse, emotional abuse, we definitely see that happening a lot. I want to believe this, but then here's my thing. You have ample amount of time to try to get away. I understand. Some of them get stuck in this trap, and it's hard to let go when they're being abused for so many years. They start to think that this is the norm. It messes with your psyche, right? It does. But why does it get to this point where you're doing stuff like this? You're plotting it out exactly this way. And like, you could have had came clean the whole entire time. You could have been like, listen, I was in an abusive relationship. The man was beating on me and I thought he was going to kill me. I had to shoot him. It is what it is. I take my responsibility for it, but I'm going to defend myself. Right. But when we see them go through this whole process of hiring people, hiding things, and then it's not only until they get all the evidence together, now all of a sudden they start getting the waterworks talking about they are this battered human being. It's like, why we don't never hear about the battered human being throughout the whole process of you being married to this person, right? Where are the reports, right? Like, what's going on here? Like, you should be able, I should be able to pinpoint that you also were battered, right? That's also speaking to her brother or other family members. If you're not comfortable going to the police because the individual is threatening you and they said, if you tell the police or call the police, I'm going to get you, I'm going to do this, I understand that, right? But normally you go speak to your closest people, the closest people in your life, your friends, your family, your parents, things of that sort, and they usually can give the hints that will confirm to the detective, yeah, this person have been going through something. It's been a very toxic, bumpy road. Yes, this person have possibly put his hand on them. We had a discussion or argument with them, but we never hear these in these particular type of cases. We never hear anybody coming up and saying, yeah, I can back the history that a lot of this stuff has been going on between both individuals. It always seemed like there's something else. And then again, like, if you're that abused, people who are, to me, and like I said, I can be wrong. But if you're that battered and abused, I think the last thing that you want to do is have another man touch you. Can I get a 1 in the chat? Like, are women really doing that? Like, I just don't see it in that way. If you are getting beat up, battered, screamed on, whatever not, by the opposite sex, your kind of trust of the opposite sex right now is going to be off. You're not going to be trusting any old kind of individual, let alone any old kind of man, that quickly. But they have already identified that you were sleeping with a guy and giving him money and he was helping you move boxes. So it's just like, I just don't know. I really don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, when you're going through the healing process of going through any form of abuse, you got to step away from anything that is an inkling of an example of someone who betrayed you, who harmed you. You know what I'm saying? Destroyed your trust, destroyed your hope, right? You got to take a break. And you know, the funny thing in the healing process, that takes years sometime. You have your guard up. You're not going to be busting it wide open after another one done put his foot up your ass. Like, I just don't see myself doing that. I don't know if that's a thing. It could possibly be a thing. Like I said, these are my opinions. This is not factual. This is my opinion. But I just don't really see that happening. Not if you're that of a battered woman. I've dealt with battered women, right? I dealt with battered women. I have helped and assisted women who have dealt with SA and all that stuff like that. And the last thing that they're thinking about after escaping such a horrible, cruel, toxic relationship where they almost lost their life, the last thing they're thinking about is opening up their legs to another person. I'm just saying. Let's see. I hope that's not true, Lumflow. I hope that's not true. Let's see. Abuse may be abuse, but get help by getting out of the situation. Safe houses are available. Police deal with the domestic organization. They're here to help the abused. Yeah, I mean, it's I know it's not easy. It's not easy. It really isn't. And most of the time, when a person wants to finally get away, it's already at the level where it's life to death. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how crucial those couple of days when it's leading to that point, that's how crucial it is. It's already there because so many other things has transpired before that it got there. So it's hard. It's hard, but I don't know about the busting it wide open situation. I don't know about that. Tell it to someone credible, not your confidant, right? Brucey said, I can't speak for women. Okay, I got enough ones in the chat. Thank you. I see enough ones in the chat. Thank you. Brucey said, I can't speak for the women detective. I understand, Brucey. I understand. Not sure what the one is for. Oh, I told them to put a one in the chat of whether or not if they know of women who have gone through, who are battered and abusive. Do they automatically just open up and give their body or become more promiscuous after being in a very toxic and violent situation? That's what the one is for. I said I have not known for that to happen in that way. That's no problem, Flower. That's no problem. Let's see. People need to put their pride aside and move on from a failed relationship. I agree, Beans. I agree. Absolutely. Yes, I know men don't report it though. We suck it up. Yeah, I mean, more men are reporting, so this is what needs to happen. Oh yeah, thank you, Miss Joanne. I appreciate you for letting Flower know. So many women have cheapened their battery defense. Hard to know who's the real wolves around. Yeah, you know, it gets hard. It really does get hard now, and that's a problem. Hi, Turkey. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Good to see you. I hope everything is well with you, sir. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Thanks that you're here. Appreciate it. All right, let's go on.
He says, well, you don't even talk to me anymore. So I had to tell him why I was only a listener. And I might comment on, he'd had a bad day at work, and he was always paranoid about these guys at work were trying to kill him.
Why did he think they were trying to kill him?
I don't know.
And the physical abuse, tell me about that.
Well, one time we were down on Preston Road, and I thought, this particular day, I thought I would surprise him, and I would go pick him up at work. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to surprise him. I'm going to surprise him. I'm going to take him out for breakfast. I'm going to take him and go get him his T-shirts, and he wanted a pocket knife, and I was going to do all of this. So I showed up at Raytheon, and I let the guard know that his wife was here to pick him up because he normally rode in a carpool. And these some of these people in the carpool is who he kept coming home telling me that it was going to kill him, that he thought that the way they were driving, they were going to have a wreck, that they were going to kill him or this, that, and the other. And he was, anyway, they harassed me. He felt they harassed me. But anyway, back to my story is, so I went to pick him up. And when he come to the car, I was asleep.
I agree.
And he was irate.
But why was he so upset?
I never could figure it out. The only thing I could figure out is that I had messed his day up with his girlfriend because he was seeing another woman at the time. That's the only thing I can figure out. Because, here's somebody that supposedly loves you, that's showing up to take you out to eat, to buy you some clothes.
Yeah, right.
And to buy you a pocket knife that you've been wanting. And here he is acting like, he was screaming. He was yelling. He come out to the car and he kept telling me, hurry up, let's get out of here. Hurry up, get out of here. Well, all he can tell me is hurry up. I said, well, Kenneth, where do I go? And he called me a blooming idiot. He said, you blooming idiot, just drive up and that gate will open. While we were sitting there in a traffic light, I asked him, I said, I want to know one thing. Why are you acting the way you are? When I've come down here to treat you, this was a surprise. I thought this would be a happy day. I thought I could make you happy. Why are you treating me like this?
Right.
He just sat there like I wasn't even talking to him, like a bump on a log. And I said, so are you telling me that I messed your day up with your woman? Is that what you did, what I did? I messed your day up with your woman, didn't I? And he comes at me just like this, and he's just shaking me and going on like this with my neck. Well, here I am in the middle of traffic, and I have no way of getting help. And so here I am.
There's other cars around, too.
And nobody's even honking. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's saying anything. So here I am with my hands physically trying to fight him off of me.
Okay.
I was going for his face. I was going for his arms. I was going for anything I could go for. The car was not in park, by the way. I had to keep my foot on it.
Right. Otherwise, who knows? Gosh, did you get his hands off of you?
I finally got his hands off of me. And if I'd have been smart, I'd have told him, I said, you get your butt out and walk. But I wasn't. I was nice. I drove him home. But if looking back on it, I would put him out right then and there. Here's another catcher, is that he was very controlling over because he took all the money away from me. And now I look back on it, this is another one.
So, now this is crazy. Here is another case of a woman coming with a whole list written down of everything that I guess happened the day of the incident. I find that so manipulative. I find it so manipulative. And this is why she's so calm too, right? This is why she's having the whole full-on conversation. She wants to let him know that he was abusive to her. He was cheating on her. He got mad that she showed up and messed up his time with his little boo thing on the job and all the stuff like that. It's because she got everything written down. She got everything written down to paint the picture what led to the point where she had to do this. So you really want me to believe that the reason why you didn't kick him out your car is because you was trying to be nice to him, when they have already confirmed that you told your brother that the guy that you were sleeping with, he was present and you shot him. You shot him together. Nah. That's just crazy. That is really just crazy. Let's see. Has she showed proof he was having an affair with another woman? Why would you drive him home after being attacked? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I don't think that doesn't make any sense. How do you feel comfortable driving home with someone who was just strangling you in the car. It doesn't make any sense. Let's see. Sean said it's like a script. She had to remember this movie. Yeah, she had to know blow for blow, right? Oh, she pre-planned what she was going to say here for weeks. Absolutely. While that man or her lover was sitting in jail and everything like that in the orange jumpsuit, she was getting her story straight. She was getting her story straight. Oh, we got Sweetheart became a member. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining the Let's Talk About It level. I appreciate you, sis. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's see. The guy is Harold. Right. Flower said, yes, it's insane. Oh, don't worry about it, sweetheart. It's okay. That's all right. Don't worry about it at all. Shoot, get your sleep. Get your sleep going on. Right? William said, if she was attacked, why did she laugh when talking to the detective? Right. There's a lot of things that we're seeing about her that contradicts everything that she wrote on her notebook to make it seem like, she was in a battered situation and enough is enough. And then she had to get self-defense. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. She just needed time to get her facts straight. She had to write everything to paint and continue to paint the victim narrative to the detectives. But it's not going to fly because the fact that they're going to confirm that your lover was there with you, you wasn't battered, and you definitely wasn't in self-defense at that point either. Hey, Lana, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. All right, let's go on. Let's hear some more.
His ways of controlling me because I didn't have any money, you see, of my own, to call my own.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought he was looking out for me and my best interest.
Sure. So his idea was to take what was left in your bank account and put it in
under his name.
And that wasn't a.
It was supposed to be a joint. It was a joint account, but later on down the road, he took my name off, and it was an individual account. And so here I am with no money. I don't have he's taken away the credit cards from me. He doesn't give me cash on a regular basis. I have no way of writing a check. So I'm up a hill. I'm up a creek. So anyway, I was out planting flowers, trees, or I was doing something in the yard.
Sure.
And he come up, and I do not remember what he got mad about, but I remember he grabbed a hold of one of my arms and he started kicking me in the legs with his steel-toe shoes on. I was trying to get away from him, but the soles of my shoes were slick and I kept slipping and falling in the grass. Okay. And I ended up with multiple bruises on my legs.
Patricia continues sharing her stories of abuse, but one thing the investigator found interesting is that she always had an excuse for why the abuse was never reported. Even when Patricia explains that her doctor saw her bruises, when she is asked for the name of the doctor to confirm her story, she refuses to give it.
A few days later, I went to see my gynecologist.
But that's because she's lying. She's lying. And all these little bruises that she's talking about, I don't see no doggone bruises. She doesn't even look like she's a battered woman. She really don't. But this is like I'm saying, I'm not trying to say that, I don't know her husband. I don't know what type of dynamic their relationship is. So I'm not going to give that much judgment on that, right? But there's certain things that you could just tell that she's really, really laying it on thick and that she's lying. She spent this whole entire time telling her all these stories about her being abused. All the stories about her being abused, but she have yet to talk about what really led to the point where you felt that you had to shoot him. And why was somebody else involved? The guy that you claimed that you wasn't having sexual relationship with. But he told the detectives when it was his time, it was a business transaction with you. He gave you a little D, you gave him a little money. It is what it is. It's just crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Turkey Lips said no, the doctor's name would have guessed, right? Mm-hmm. It's good to see you again, young Ria. It's good to see you again. Let's see. Oh, yeah, having a good week. Real victims of domestic violence come forward. That's not necessarily true, Turkey. Some people don't come forward because there's a thing called being ostracized, right? We can't say that everyone comes forward because the simple fact is, if we can say that men are being abused, men are dealing with domestic violence, and they don't talk to no one, they just suck it up, check it in the chin, and keep on going to work and doing what they need to do for their family. We can't say that them not coming forward is them not being true victims, right? So we don't want to say things like that. It just makes it hard. It really does makes it hard when you have individuals like this who paints this whole big picture, and come to find out that's never really the case. Come to find out there's no real sign of the said abuse that they claimed that they did. They took a lot of time to lay it on thick. Took a lot of time. Turkey said it makes it harder on real victims of domestic violence when they come forward when she's feeding this crap. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Yes. Miss Jalen said, plot thickens. William said, doctor could have acted on her behalf to call the police on her husband if she was suffering at his hand. Yeah, absolutely. That's another thing too, That's another thing too. If she actually went to the doctor and got really checked out, and these are signs or wounds that are afflicted on her that shows that she was being abused, they have every right to call the police, right? Get the police involved, file a report, and also get a rape kit, kit. Get one of that started, right? She didn't do any of that. In fact, she tried to avoid it as much as possible. But don't worry about it, Turkey. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of men, women, and children don't say anything. Yeah, they don't. They're afraid they won't be believed. Yeah, they're afraid that they won't be believed. They're afraid that they'll be ostracized. People will look at them different, especially with someone who is a narcissist. They usually have flying monkeys around them, and they help throw the narrative out there and spread it around and have people view you a certain type of way. It's a sense of isolation, as well as dealing with the actual traumatic response for going through a situation like that. There's a lot of reason why people have a big anxiety where they don't, the first initial thing is for them to do is not to go and tell someone. And even the shame too, right? It's the shame that we have to add into that scenario as well. Like, how can I have let something like this happen to me?
And she saw them.
What's her name?
I can't give you that because I was on work too.
Okay.
Well, there were several times on Christmas and Thanksgiving that family, after my mom and dad passed away, my brothers and sisters and brothers and
oh, don't worry about it, Turkey. Don't worry about it.
For Christmas. And he refused to let me go.
Now, did Stephanie observe these abusive things and the things that Kenneth had done and the way he spoke to you and all?
Well, let me tell you, yes. When I come home from that report back in 2007,
yeah.
That police report, I was real upset. And I had to sneak down there at nighttime to file the report because he left at 9 o'clock to go to work. So I had to go down there late at night in order to file the report with the policeman.
The one time that Patricia claims to have gone and filed a domestic violence report against her husband turns out to have never been filed. Patricia claims that the officer told her that because the incident took place in another city, he couldn't file the report.
So when I come home that night, I was upset. And I told Stephanie about it. And Stephanie's words to me, she said, Mom, that's nothing. He's been doing it to me all my life. Stephanie, why haven't you told me this?
Now here's all the waterworks.
She said,
Oh
Mom,
my
I guess I
God.
just thought you knew.
Here it
But then
comes
she
again.
goes on explaining how he did it.
Let's see when
And he would always do it when she was in her bedroom with the door closed. So therefore, I said, well, where would I be at? She said, well, you were either in the kitchen fixing the meal, or either that you might have been gone to work. And I said, Steph, if you don't tell me these things, how am I supposed to know about them?
Stephanie McMillan would later testify at her mother's trial that there was no abuse in the home, despite her mother's many claims that she was physically and emotionally abused by her husband.
Not you using your daughter and try to say that the father was physically abusing and verbally abusing your child. Again, these people, how low can you go? You really think that they weren't going to call your children or your child in as a character witness to confirm whether or not if the abuse that you said that they were also going through is true or not? Or did you believe that your kid would lie for you? Not if that's her own father. Not if her father is not the big bag boogeyman that you are making him seem for the detective. No, they're not going to lie for you like that. That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Once he leaves for work, you have every opportunity to report him as he wouldn't be there to stop you from doing so. Yeah. Yep, the bad acting is real. The bad acting is serious, isn't it? She's throwing every excuse she can out there to get her out of hot water. Absolutely. Absolutely. But that daughter told the truth. Good for her. Yeah, I agree. Good for her, definitely. But like I said, because then that would go on the basis of more of the father's character, right? So she's been painting this horrible thing, like, and then once again, like we know there's different, different levels to people, right? Different levels to people. A person can be a shitty husband, a shitty wife, but a great parent, or vice versa, right? There's so many different parts or aspects of us that makes us who we are, right? That's just human. That's just human. But I'm glad that she did tell the truth, though, because that would have been really messed up.
After spending most of the interview building a narrative where Kenneth was an unfaithful, abusive husband, Patricia decides it's time to tell her version of the truth.
I'm very sorry for what happened, because I wish it would have never happened. But I knew he was going to kill me that day because of all the things that had led up to that incident. And I would have never done it had my life never been in jeopardy, because you can't live with a person that long and take care of them and do things with them and not still have a love for them down inside. But I put up with that. I put up with him running around on me for a good 12 months at least, thinking that he would come to his senses. Because, I'm a doctor. I took the better worse. Until death apart.
Right.
And I'm thinking that sooner or later he was going to wake up and smell roses.
Oh, you did definitely work part, lady. You did do his part, but when they said that phrase, that doesn't mean that you get to take your husband's life, right?
Patricia admits that she asked for defense. When the case begins asking her for details, she refused to talk about it anymore. Patricia took the case to trial, where she painted a picture that she was afraid for her life, and she had no choice but to protect herself. Prosecution argued the length she went to hide Kenneth's body was very unusual for someone claiming self-defense. In the end, the jury would find Patricia guilty, and she was sentenced to 80 years in prison. Because Harold helped the police, he was offered a plea deal of 10 years of probation. What are your thoughts on this case? Should Harold have received a tougher sentence for helping dispose of the body and initially lying to the police? Please share your thoughts in the comments below.
All right, so shout out to Harold. They did you a good service, sir. You got 10 years of probation, not 10 years in prison or anything like that. So shout out to you. Shout out to you. I guess your good work and being honest and everything helped you. Serve her right. The 88 years are very good for her. She lied through the whole entire thing. She came in there with a whole pamphlet. She came in here with a whole pamphlet, only to talk about her abuse from the beginning to the end and never any details about what actually happened within that incident. She gave information about going to see her doctor, but not reporting it to her doctor, I think she's even lying about that, because if the doctor would have seen any of those wounds and stuff like that, they would have had called the police on their own accord. They have the right to do so, right? They have the right to do so. That this lady was wicked. Whether or not, I really can't figure out what her intent was, but I'm going on the basis that her intent had to be, or her motive had to be, that she wanted his property and she wanted to move on and date and mess with whoever she wanted to date and mess with. She was just done with him, sick with him. She, their kids are grown, right? So for her, she don't have no real reason to stay or any real attachment anymore. And she didn't want to go through a divorce. She didn't want to go through splitting up properties or anything of that. She just felt like it was okay to get rid of the old bugger. And then she helped her, she had her lover help her do it. That was a wicked case. That was a real wicked case. That lady was really, really wicked. The really thing that drove it home for me as how wicked she was is including her daughter into the mix, literally creating a whole entire lie that her daughter was being abused by her father. So you mean to tell me that you're being abused and you're going to allow your blood, you're going to allow your daughter to be abused under the same household and you don't do anything? You don't say anything, you don't do anything? It's convenient how you had a bullet to quote unquote defend yourself, but you telling me you didn't have a bullet to put one right through his head if he's harming and touching your daughter inappropriately? You really want me to believe that as a mother who loves their child? I don't think so. Yeah, this one was a very interesting case. Very, very, very interesting. And I'm glad I was able to review it and share it with you guys. So, ladies and gents, that is the last case that I have with you good folks of the algorithm. Again, while you're heading out, please hit the like button for me. I truly, truly appreciate it. It helps the channel. You don't know how much it definitely helps the channel. Please share this out to anyone who likes to review these cases, and we have immersive conversations in the chat. Shout out to all my chatties. I appreciate you. My mods, I always, always appreciate you. You make this work well for me. You make the environment that I like happen, and I appreciate that you love to share this with me. Guys, I should be back tomorrow with 3 more cases. Yes, I'm going to hit you with tomorrow with 3 more cases. So look out for the notification. I will put it up early this time so y'all can get it. And I want y'all to have a lovely, lovely night. Stay cool, stay hydrated, love yourselves, stay out of trouble, okay? And I will see you on the next one. Talk to you later, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Bye-bye.